My pregnant girlfriend threw a vase at my head and screamed, "Hormones!" Then she admitted the baby wasn't mine in a fit of rage. I packed my bags. She changed her tune instantly, claiming it was a joke, but I was already out the door. I, 32, male, was packing a bag while my girlfriend, 29, screamed at me from the bedroom doorway. The side of my head was still throbbing where the ceramic vase had hit me 20 minutes earlier. It was just hormones. You can't leave me because of hormones. I folded another shirt, didn't look at her. Not leaving because of hormones, leaving because you told me the baby isn't mine. I was angry. I didn't mean it. You said, and I quote, "You want to know the truth?" Fine, the baby's not even yours, it's his. I've been sleeping with him since March. Silence. Then I was just trying to hurt you. I say things I don't mean when I'm upset. I finally looked at her. 6 months pregnant. Standing there in my apartment. Well, our apartment now since she'd moved in 4 months ago when we found out. Tears streaming down her face, hands on her belly. You threw a vase at my head, then screamed that the baby isn't mine, then described in detail how you've been cheating for months. That's not saying things. That's truth coming out when you're too mad to lie anymore. Baby, please stop calling me baby. Stop calling me anything. I'm done. You're really going to abandon your child? Not my child. You literally just told me that. It was a joke. God, can't you take a joke? I zipped the bag, grabbed my laptop. I'll be back for the rest of my stuff when you're not here. Don't contact me. Where are you even going? Not your problem anymore. I walked past her. She grabbed my arm. You can't just leave. I'm pregnant. What am I supposed to do? Call the actual father. The one from March. Her face went from desperate to venomous in about half a second. You're a coward, a pathetic coward. I gave you everything and this is how you repay me. I pulled my arm free. You gave me lies and someone else's kid. We're done. Walked out. She was screaming behind me, but I didn't catch all of it. Something about ruining her life, about me being heartless, about hormones again. Drove to my buddy's place. He took one look at my face and handed me a beer. She actually threw something at you. Vase, mist mostly clipped my ear. And the baby, not mine. She admitted it mid-fight, then tried to say she was joking when she realized I was leaving. Holy... Yeah. Stayed on his couch that night, blocked her number around 2 a.m. after the 50th text. They ranged from, "I'm sorry, baby, please come home," to, "You're going to regret this," to, "The baby is definitely yours." I was lying about lying. Too late for that. Update 1. 1 week later, the harassment got creative real fast. First, she showed up at my work. Security called me down to the lobby where she was making a scene. He abandoned me. I'm 6 months pregnant and he just left. Security guard looked at me. I looked at him. She's my ex. We broke up. I'd appreciate if she wasn't allowed in the building. Sir, she says you're the father. She also says the baby isn't mine. Depending on which day you ask her, I'd still like her removed from the building. My girlfriend started crying. How can you be so cruel? I made one mistake and you're throwing away our family. One mistake that lasted since March. That's not one mistake. That's 4 months of lying. Security escorted her out. She was screaming about abandonment and deadbeat dads and hormones again with the hormones. My boss called me in that afternoon. Want to explain what happened in the lobby? I gave him the short version. Vase confession. Me leaving her showing up here. He winced. That's rough. Look, I can't ban her from a public building, but if she becomes a problem, I'll handle it legally if needed. Good, and hey, might want to get a paternity test. Cover yourself. Smart advice. Called a lawyer that evening. Guy specialized in family law. So, she admitted the child isn't yours. Yes. Then said she was joking, then said she lied about lying. At this point, I have no idea what's true. Do you want to be involved if the child is yours? Good question. Thought about it honestly after the vase and the lying. No, but I'll pay support if legally required. I'm not trying to dodge responsibility, just trying to dodge crazy. Fair enough. Here's what we do. Demand a paternity test. If it's not yours, you're clear. If it is, we establish a custody arrangement that limits your contact with the mother. Can we do that? Given her behavior, assault, harassment at your workplace, yeah, we can argue for supervised exchanges minimum, cost me $3,000 retainer, worth every penny. He sent a letter to my ex the next day. Formal demand for paternity testing once the baby was born. Also included a cease and desist about the workplace harassment. She responded by calling my mother. My mom called me confused. Your girlfriend says you abandoned her, and the baby ex-girlfriend, and she told me the baby isn't mine before I left. She says that was a joke. After throwing a vase at my head and detailing a month-so-long affair, some joke. Oh, honey, my mom's on my side. Good, because what came next was her family. Her mother showed up at my buddy's place Thursday night. Don't know how she found me, but there she was. You need to come home. My daughter is hysterical, not my home anymore. And your daughter assaulted me. She was emotional. You can't hold that against a pregnant woman. I can hold assault against anyone, pregnant or not. The stress of you leaving could harm the baby. The stress of her cheating harmed our relationship. Call the real father. There is no other man. She made that up because you were arguing. I showed her the text from a month ago. My ex had left her phone on the counter. Went to shower. Notification popped up. Can't wait to see you tonight with a heart emoji from a saved contact labeled J. I'd taken a photo of my phone showing her phone screen with the date stamp. Her mother's face went white. That could be anyone. It's someone she was planning to see at night. Someone who sends heart emojis. Someone she never mentioned to me. The same month she got pregnant. Do the math. You're a bastard. I'm the bastard. Your daughter lied about paternity, threw objects at my head, and is now stalking my workplace, but I'm the bastard for leaving. She left without another word. Friday, I got served. My ex was suing for emergency financial support, claiming I'd cut her off without warning, leaving her destitute and unable to afford prenatal care. Except I never paid her bills. She had her own job, her own money. We split rent 50-50 before she moved into my place, and I told her she could stay rentrée during the pregnancy as a temporary thing until we figured out permanent arrangements. Now, she wanted me legally obligated to pay her living expenses. My lawyer was almost amused. She's really shooting herself in the foot here. Every filing she makes creates a paper trail for our side. How so? You're demanding a paternity test. She's demanding money. If the test proves you're not the father, she just filed a frivolous lawsuit and opened herself up to sanctions. If it proves you are, she still undermined her own credibility by lying about it. What about until the baby's born? We fight it. Show proof she has income, her own savings, family support. Argue that without confirmed paternity, you have no obligation. Worst case, judge orders minimal temporary support pending DNA results. Court date was set for 3 weeks out. In the meantime, her sister started texting me long paragraphs about family and forgiveness and how stress affects pregnancy, how I was being selfish, how everyone makes mistakes. I replied once, "Ask your sister about Jay, then ask her why she thinks cheating for months is one mistake, then lose my number." She responded, "There is no Jay, she made him up. You're using this as an excuse because you're scared of fatherhood." I sent her the screenshot of the text notification. She stopped texting, but then Monday morning, Someone slashed my tires, all 4 of them. I was parked on the street outside my buddy's place. Filed a police report. No cameras, no witnesses. Cops seemed sympathetic, but basically shrugged. Happens sometimes, probably random. My pregnant ex has been harassing me for weeks, and I just got served with a lawsuit. Think it's random? Can you prove she did it? No, then there's not much we can do. You can try small claims for damages if you figure out who did it. $800 to replace all 4 tires. Added it to the list of reasons I was done with this relationship. Update 2. 4 weeks later. The court hearing was a disaster for her. She showed up with her mother, her sister, and a lawyer who looked like he graduated last week. I showed up with my lawyer who'd been doing this for 20 years. Her argument? I'd promised to support her through the pregnancy, then abandoned her Qley over one fight. She was now unable to work. Lie. Her job was remote data entry, perfectly doable while pregnant. Had no money. Lie. I'd seen her bank statement during a better time. She had about 15 calories saved and needed emergency support for housing and medical care. My lawyer's response. I had demanded a paternity test due to her admission that the child wasn't mine. Until paternity was established, I had no legal obligation. Furthermore, her one fight involved assault, showed photos of my head where the vase hit, detailed confession of infidelity, provided timeline and subsequent harassment, workplace incident, family contacts, tires. The judge looked tired. Ma'am, did you tell the defendant the child wasn't his? I was upset. I didn't mean it, but you said it. Yes, but, and you threw an object at him. Her lawyer jumped in. Your Honor, my client was experiencing emotional distress due to pregnancy hormones. Pregnancy doesn't excuse assault or fraud. Sir, she turned to me, are you refusing all support? No, Your Honor. I'm demanding paternity testing. If the child is mine, I'll fulfill all legal obligations. If it's not, I shouldn't be obligated to support fraud. That's reasonable. Motion for emergency support is denied, pending paternity testing. Test will be ordered within 1 week of birth. Next. Outside the courthouse, my ex lost it. Started screaming about how I destroyed her life, how I was killing my baby by creating stress, how she hoped I was happy. Her mother had to physically pull her away while her sister threw dirty looks. My lawyer patted my shoulder. You did good. Stay the course. I went back to my buddy's place, started apartment hunting, couldn't crash on his couch forever. Found a decent 1-bedroom. Cost more than my old place, but worth it for the fresh start. Lease started in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, my ex tried a different approach. Mutual friends started getting calls. Hey man, heard about you and her. Pretty harsh to leave a pregnant woman. Did she mention the cheating? She says that was a lie to hurt you during a fight. Did she mention the vase? She says that was an accident. Accident implies unintentional. She threw it at my head on purpose. How's that an accident? Usually got silence after that. Lost a few friends who'd always been closer to her anyway. The ones who knew me well stuck around. One friend knew us both equally. Called with a different angle. Look, I'm not taking sides. But what if the baby is yours and you miss everything because of pride? It's not pride, it's self-preservation. She assaulted me, admitted to cheating, then tried to gaslight me into thinking I imagined it. Even if the baby's mine, I can't be with someone like that. But the baby, if it's mine, I'll pay support. Maybe supervised visitation, but I'm not going back to someone who throws things and lies. That's fair, he admitted. Just wanted to make sure you'd thought it through. I had. Every night on that couch, I'd thought it through, and every morning I woke up relieved to be away from her. 6 weeks after I left, she went into labor. 3 weeks early, got a text from her sister. Baby's here. Girl, 50, you should be here. I wasn't. Texted my lawyer instead. Baby's born. Get the paternity test ordered. Took 2 more weeks for everything to process. Hospital court order, my sample, baby sample. Waiting for results was the longest 2 weeks of my life. During that time, my ex tried twice more to contact me, once through a new number I hadn't blocked. Your daughter needs her father. I didn't respond. Not playing that game until paternity was confirmed. Second time, she showed up at my new apartment. Don't know how she got my address. Showed up with the baby crying on my doorstep. Just meet her, please. She looks just like you. I looked at the baby through the crack in the door. Kept the chain on. Newborn, tiny, wrapped in pink. Could have looked like anyone at that age. Test results aren't back yet. I know she's yours. A mother knows. You also knew the baby wasn't mine back in April, so forgive me for not trusting your maternal instincts. That was different. I was angry. Results in a few days will go from there. You're really going to reject your own child because you're mad at me? I'm going to wait for scientific proof before committing my life to a child that might not be mine. That's called being responsible. Closed the door. She stayed outside for an hour. Finally left. Didn't come back. Results came back on a Thursday. My lawyer called, got the results. You sitting down? Yeah, not yours? 0% probability of paternity? I felt relief. Overwhelming relief, followed immediately by anger. She'd put me through 2 months of hell over a baby that wasn't even mine. What? Now? Now you're free. No legal obligation whatsoever. I'd recommend one more cease and desist to prevent further contact. If she continues harassing you, we pursue a restraining order. Do it. He sent the letter same day, included the paternity test results, stated clearly that I had no legal or financial obligation to my ex or her child, demanded she cease all contact or face legal consequences. Her response was a text from yet another new number. You're really going to abandon us over a piece of paper? I forwarded it to my lawyer without responding. Final update. 2 months later, the harassment stopped after the restraining order got filed. Turns out a court order carries more weight than moral arguments. Took 6 weeks, but I got it. She'd violated the ceasist 4 times, showed up at my apartment twice more, called my work again, and somehow got my new number to text me another 12 times. Judge granted a year-long restraining order, 500 FT minimum, but the real consequence came when the biological father found out. Turns out Jay was her co-worker. They'd been hooking up since March, like she'd said, but she'd never told him she was pregnant. He found out when she filed for child support against him. My lawyer had included his name in court documents based on evidence we'd gathered. He got served, showed up at my door a week after that. Different kind of conversation. You the ex-boyfriend? Yeah, she'd tell you about me, only after throwing a vase at my head. He winced. Sounds about right. She got intense, that's one word for it. Look, I'm not here to cause trouble, just wanted to know. She tried to pass the kid off as yours for 6 months until I left. She insisted I was the father. Did she ever mention me at all before the fight? Never. I found out you existed from a text notification. Then she confirmed it while screaming at me. He shook his head. I'm dealing with it now. Court ordered paternity test came back. Kid's definitely mine. Paying support, figuring out custody, it's a mess. Welcome to my life from March to June. How'd you deal with it? Lawyer, documentation, boundaries, don't let her guilt you. Don't engage with the emotional manipulation. And for the love of God, don't go back. Not planning on it. Just wanted to know what I'm dealing with. Someone who lies reflexively and blames everyone else for consequences. Good luck. He left. I felt bad for the guy. He got trapped by biology. I got lucky with timing. My ex tried contacting me one more time through her mother email this time since everything else was blocked and legally prohibited. My daughter is struggling financially. The father refuses to pay adequate support. You lived with her for over a year. Morally, you should help. My response: morally, your daughter should have been honest about paternity from the start. Legally, I have no obligation as confirmed by court order. I suggest your daughter and the biological father work out their issues without involving me. This is my final communication on this matter. Copied my lawyer on it, he approved. That was 6 weeks ago. Radio silence since then. Life's getting back to normal. Work's good, apartment's good. Started seeing someone new. Taking it slow, way slower than before. Trust issues are real now. Buddy, whose couch I crashed on, got married last month. Gave a speech at his wedding about having friends who show up when life goes sideways. Got a little choked up. He later told me I could have stayed as long as needed. Good people exist. Financially, the whole thing cost me about $8,000. Legal fees, tire replacement, higher rent, moving costs. Not cheap, but cheaper than 18 years of child support for someone else's kid. Emotionally still processing. Therapy's helping. Turns out getting assaulted by someone you love leaves marks that don't show up on the surface. The what-ifs hit me sometimes. What if I'd stayed? What if I had believed it was a joke excuse? What if I'd waited until birth to confirm paternity? I'd be trapped, legally tied to a child that wasn't mine. Stuck in a relationship with someone who'd rather lie than tell the truth. Paying for someone else's choices. Instead, I'm free. Single. Starting over, but free. The baby's 4 months old now. I don't know her name. Don't know what she looks like beyond that one glimpse through the door. Don't know if she's healthy or happy. And that's okay. She's not my responsibility. She has a father, the real one. He's dealing with it. I hope he's better at boundaries than I was. My ex hasn't moved on, though. Heard through mutual friends. She's been telling anyone who will listen that I abandoned her and our baby, still lying about paternity, still playing victim. People who know the truth don't buy it. People who don't, their opinions don't matter. Learned some hard lessons through this. Red flags I ignored early in the relationship. Moments where her temper showed and I wrote it off. Times she lied about small things that should have been warnings. Won't make those mistakes again. Someone asked me recently if I regret how I handled it. If I should have been more understanding about the hormones, more forgiving about the Vase, more patient about the paternity confusion. No. She threw an object at my head, admitted to months of cheating, tried to trap me with another man's child, then spent months harassing me when I wouldn't play along. I protected myself, set boundaries, required proof, followed through when proof showed I was right. That's not cruel, that's survival. The Vase missed mostly, just clipped my ear. Still have a small scar. Reminder to trust actions over words. To believe people when they accidentally tell you the truth during anger. To know when to walk away even when someone's crying and pregnant and calling you heartless. Because sometimes being heartless means having enough heart left to protect yourself. She wanted me back when she needed someone to play daddy to another man's kid. Not because she loved me, because she needed someone to fill a role. And I was done playing roles in someone else's story, living my own story now. It's quieter, simpler, honest. No vases flying, no lies about paternity, no drama at work. Just me, my apartment, my job, and a future that doesn't include someone else's betrayal. Best decision I ever made was packing that bag while she screamed. Best thing I ever did was keep walking when she said it was a joke because staying would have been the real joke, and I wasn't laughing anymore.